Okay, I think I owe you guys an apology. I've been testing audio like crazy because I published the first one, and guess what? It didn't sound like anything. I think you heard more gameplay and all of this and all of that, and it was very crappy. And I told a lot of good stories. The stories weren't that great. But if you want to listen later on, you just have to really turn it up, and that's probably gonna get really uncomfortable, especially if you have like other notifications on and things like that. But we'll see how this one comes out, huh? So I said season 1, episode 2 would be out next week. Guess what? It's out this week again. So it's a great show, huh? Great show. Okay. So where did we leave off? And I think the audio quality was kind of crappy too. So my bad on that. It's that wasn't meant to be like that, but that's what happens, you know? You just end up with whatever you end up with. Taking a drink. Okay. So essentially what I'm working on here is just a new world. What you missed last week, which is really a couple of hours ago. I was building a little house. So I'm playing in survival, and so the idea is that I'm going to be just to recap the last episode. The idea is that I'm going to build a world in survival, Minecraft, and oh man, you really start to realize like there's so much crap involved just to record online, you know. So I don't even know, like it looks good right here, you know, but I don't even know if that's the same kind of quality you're gonna get when you see it. Um, and the other part is the audio. I'm using OBS 30.2.3, and it's not producing the levels that I want audio wise, and there could be a variety of reasons. You know, I mean, this is just a very cheap setup, but it's not like music that you're going to listen to in the car. You know, with like the really good effects and all that. You know, it sounds like a Master of Puppets album recording where all the guitars were turned up, the bass was low, and then the general sound volume is low, you know, so you have to turn it up a little bit higher. And then when another song comes on that was like produced like of the past year, you get a whole different level of quality with the music, you know. I'm thinking this is going to be the Master of Puppets version that you'll get with the podcast, but you'll have to bear with me. I'm hoping the audio can improve by time, but I realize that I'm gonna have to research a little bit more and just kind of figure out what that looks like. It could also be just the equipment that I'm using. I mentioned that this microphone was handed to me by my girlfriend, who it belonged to her ex, an aspiring rapper from California. I don't know how many followers he had, but if he chose this mic, I'm gonna guess that he didn't have that many followers, because this mic, I don't think can get you the followers you're looking for, right? Maybe it's just the lyrics. So maybe that's something that I'll be purchasing in the future is audio mic. Now this mic looks pretty cool though, and I might just be blaming the mic when on reality it's like, you know, like I said, my crappy setup. But who knows? And I just keep going up and down the stairs because I'm just trying to talk right now out of my mind and not really focus on building. But what you have in your eyesight here is just I found a mine shaft, an abandoned mine, I think is what they call it in Minecraft. and there's a lot of things that we can get to. So I'm gonna build some stairways and then just continue talking and telling stories about whatever, I guess, right? I mean, let's just let's start building. So the first thing I'm gonna do here is just take care of these. I'm gonna use up all of the railroads because I do want to build a railroad upstairs, not an underground railroad, because everyone is free in this world. You know, there's no need for underground business. Oh man, you know what I realized is that my screen looks a little small, and if I make it big, let me see how that messes with my recording. Oh yeah, see, it threw off the. Okay, I guess I'm stuck with this. That's another thing I'm gonna have to figure out is how I can make the view enjoyable for me so that it's playable. But some things are gonna look a little small. I also see that I need to get some. I need to get some tools ready to go. So let me go up and build some tools and get ready to explore this mine world. So yeah, the last episode I talked a lot about really what my experience was with the internet, and you know, I think we all started off. What the hell is this? No, I don't want Polish. Whatever. I want sticks. Damn it. I think I need to put this here. Okay. Oh, I need to make a chest because I'm starting to collect a bunch of crap. And if you hear any background noise, that's my kid. He's watching YouTube on the phone right now. It's his favorite pastime. I didn't have YouTube when I was a kid, but it does make me curious, like, how into YouTube I would be as he is right now. He's 2 years old, and he's already a sucker for it. He's just, he sees the little videos, and these people, they have great ways of, like, capturing and getting the attention of kids. That's a little scary, huh? Okay. Oh, I needed the. Ba 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 ba. It's Labor Day, so we'll call this episode 2. Episode 1 was already crap. We'll see how episode 2 comes out, and if we can get some enjoyable content out of this. I don't know if I want to go back and listen to these episodes. It feels kind of like feels kind of wrong to listen to yourself, right? I already heard myself in these test recordings. I was like, ugh. I can't believe I sound like that. I do sound kind of like I don't know what I sound like, but it's not like a voice that I would want to hear myself. Well, look, I'm already reaching like distortion level audio. More things that I'm learning. I guess if I go over 0.0, sound can distort and sound really bad and mess me up or something like that. So I gotta figure that out as well. I don't even know how these, like, you start to wonder how like the artists do it, right? Oh, maybe they don't do it. They have like sound engineers that do all this shit, and they get you like up and going. But I can also like, and it could be my headphones too, right? That I have my monitor on too loud, but I can hear like myself breathing, like sigh, and it sounds bassy, and it sounds cool. But then when I hit play, it doesn't sound like that. Stupid audio. Hey, if anyone out there has recommendations of how I can make my sound better, let me know because I'd be curious. I'm willing to listen. Technically, my cousin's like a unofficial. I shouldn't say technically. Untechnically, my cousin's like a sound engineer, and he produces all his music and church tracks and stuff like that on his own. And it comes out pretty darn good. Um, and now I see how talented he is, because it's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Okay, let's make some sticks. Let's make some sticks. And I it just makes me appreciate more what he does, you know? Maybe I'll be at his level one day, but I feel like once I'm at his level, he'll be at 10 levels higher, or whatever many levels more he is at, because technology is always changing and things like that, and I don't know if I have the capacity to get to that point. But as long as I can make this sound good, as long as the video looks decent, I think it's another. My computer might also just be, not designed to do all this. So, um, if I really want to do this podcast and if I stick to it, I feel like I'm gonna have to invest in quite a bit of equipment just to get to that cool, awesome level. Okay, I don't know what I keep doing in this screen. I just keep thinking about my thoughts. And I know, if you're watching, you might be thinking, man, this is the worst. I mean, even if you're listening, right? Not very good entertainment. All right, so let's go. Let's go down and let's explore and see if we can find some treasures. Eventually, I want to get down to the deeper levels so I can get some diamonds. Because diamonds are a girl's best friend. I think that's how the statement goes. I'm not very good with quotes. I tried to learn them, but I always end up butchering them. Especially at work, they have all these business terms, business jargon terms, and I'm it's hard to keep up, Like, how do you remember all of these? And then the worst part is that I start to think, like, okay, yeah, you said that term, but like I'm trying to I kind of get it how it applies to the real world, and I sometimes try to apply it to the business world, and or vice versa. I think I know what it means in the business world because I've heard it so much, but I don't know what it means in the real world, like where it originated from and how we got to that point of using that term. I'm also curious, like, who is coming up with these terms? You got like farmers, right? And then you got like laborers, people that are doing actual work, right? They're keeping America up and running. Those people. Uh, there's got to be a moment in time where those people jump to the business world, and then they start saying these terms that they were using back when they were plowing the land, or they were worshiping the devil, or whatever. And you're like, what the fuck? How do we get to the point where we get to advocate for the devil? You know, it's kind of messed up. Um, unless you worship the devil, then it's not that messed up. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna keep using this term because it's pro devil, and I gotta keep honoring the Dark Lord, is what people say, right? And so, is there like a term like a Chris? That's the other thing. You probably don't even hear the Christian terms. I'm trying to figure out what the Christian business jargon terms would be. That honors God. I'm burning. No, no, I'm gonna die. I died. And now my girlfriend's rubbing my back as a consolation.
Do you want Wingstop?
Yeah, I want Wingstop.
Okay, I'm gonna order.
Thanks, babe.
I'm not getting lemon pepper though.
Okay, you get whatever. Guess who's eating Wingstop? Wingstop in the house. Oh man, I hope all my tools didn't burn. Dang it. This is what happens when you start talking about God and the devil, you know? They actually get to it's like instant karma, you know? Like, why are you talking about the devil? You know what? This is what you get. You're gonna burn. So you know what it feels like to go to hell, you know? That's is karma Christian, by the way? I don't even know if that's a Christian term. Instant karma. It's I feel like there's gotta be. Oh man, where did all these skeletons come from? Jeez, man. Chill out. I need to get some protection too. Jeez, man. And I can't use the Lord's name in vain because I know what happens when I do that. So, note to self, don't piss off the Christians. The God folks. Actually, I do believe in God. So I shouldn't even be talking like that, you know? Like if you believe in God and then you're talking you say, "Oh my God." And then you're like using the Lord's name in vain, but you're using it when you're playing Minecraft, you know? Like I don't think I don't know if God supposedly, right, God like knows everything, right? And everything happens for a reason and all that. Um it makes me curious, like when God created Earth, was God saying, okay, if Eve bites the apple, he's, you know, making a lot of if statements while designing the world and the universe and all that. And one of the if statements is, if okay, so what are the downsides of creating a universe? You know, let's plan this out. Um, and so he gets on his Visio board, right? And he starts drawing up a flow chart of what the universe is going to look like. You can imagine the most complex Visio chart in the world you've ever seen, with links that when you click on this one decision tree and it explains the decision and around it and how we got to that point. And then another process box goes in there and it's like, okay, so this is called the process of Eve biting into the apple, and we're gonna find out what happens here. And then I'm gonna, based on how this plans out, I'm gonna pull the trigger to determine if I should create the universe or not, right? And so he goes in there and he starts mapping out the world of the universe, the Milky Way, right? Maybe there was millions other Milky Ways that he created already, and we were one of the last Milky Ways to get launched or whatever. I don't know. And so he goes in there and he starts designing, and he sees he gets to the point, right, where he creates man and woman comes from the rib of man, and it's so like, yeah, there's no woman without man, you know. According to the feminists, they get a little sensitive when we use terms like that, right? Man, you know, woman has the word man in it. Anyway, I'm burning again. No. I keep talking about the Christianity faith, and I'm here like paying for it. No, stop burning, stop burning. I don't even know if I can jump into a lake somewhere. Okay. See, what the heck, man? That's what I I hear all the Christians laughing right now. Yeah. You know, it's my instant karma for talking about the creation of the world. And okay, I gotta figure something out here because I'm getting distracted and I already have the Christian faith all up on me. Really, anyone that believes in God, which is just outside of the Christians, you know, you got the Muslims and the Buddhists. I think they all believe in like a higher power, you know? And so it's really the whole universe is against me right now for talking about the creation of the universe. That's what happens. You know, you build enemies. You know, that's life. Your life is about enemies, and if you don't got any enemies, are you really living? You know, are you burning yourself in a in a place of lava? You know, I don't even know what that lava stream was called, but wherever that lava comes from, I just put the cow. See, I'm already this is a result of Eve biting into the apple. I'm already hungry. I'm dying. You know, if she hadn't bitten into that apple, we would have life, and we wouldn't even know what death is. But then we had to create a game that mimics life, and even in video games, I get to die. You know, that's you think about it like, was that is that what we want, guys? Is that, you know? I'm sure Eve has had a lot of time to think about this. Uh, her what do you call it? This is the consequence of her actions. You know, is that I get to burn in lava. Okay, let me clean this up here real quick. Just gotta make some stuff here. Do I want to burn more? I don't even know if I have enough fuel. Oh, I need to put my chicken in there. I'm just making some food because I burned myself to almost death. I already died once. Okay. So, is that enough food? I don't even know if that's enough food. Where were we? We were talking about Eve. Oh, and God Almighty creating the universe and all that. And making if statements on a Visio chart. And so, wouldn't that be cool if he had? He probably has like a whole universe set out with a bunch of you know, it's like a massive flow chart, right? And it's mapping out the entire universe with a bunch of if yes, if no's, and love you, baby. Bye, bye, puppy. I love you. Mwah. Uh, so man, that still wasn't enough. I still gotta kill more. Damn, you see that? This is what happens when you bite into the apple. Love you, puppy. This is what happens. Here's what happens. Sorry, the baby is a little upset that they're leaving without him. This is what happens when you bite into the apple. You know, you try and survive, but then you realize like I still have enough food to survive, and now you have to find even more food to survive, and you just found a mine shaft, and you're like, I want to explore this mine. Oh, are these horses? Oh my god, look, they're all black and white. This one looks like a cow. How cute. Aww. That's so pretty. Okay. I'm not gonna kill the horses. Horses are for riding. And if you're a pervert out there, that's not what I meant. Oh crap, where did my house go? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go lay down because can you eat? In the last episode that you could not hear, I was wondering if you could eat armadillos, but I don't know if you can. And I don't want to test it because I don't eat armadillos in real life, and I don't eat pig either in real life. So if you're watching this and you're wondering how come you're not killing any pigs, it's because I am pork free. I grew up in a pork free home, and I just kind of stuck to that. After I became 18 and I could do whatever I wanted, I'm gonna start eating pork. I'm gonna eat bacon. I'm gonna eat pepperoni, and pork chop still sounded nasty. I saw a video where there was this guy doing some sort of experiment, and he puts like a fresh piece of pork on a some sort of Tupperware or something like that, and then he pours Coca-Cola into it, and then like after an hour or so, you could see like maggots coming out of it. It was so gross. I'm like, what the hell? Like, even if you didn't eat pork to begin with, like for religious purposes or whatever else, you know, other reasons are out there, you shouldn't be able. I mean, come on, guys. Are you gonna be eating a lot of meats that have worms in it? You know, you gotta eat chickens. You know, like this little guy right here. You gotta eat beef, and I eat like salmon maybe. Uh, I'll eat some salmon. I'll eat some beef. I'll eat some chicken. I grew up with a tofu-rich diet, which I blame my titties for. I hear tofu has a high levels of estrogen, and yeah, I grew up with the titties. You know, I remember my cousin and I would go to the pool, and he'd make fun of me because I had titties, and that was the result. I've always had titties, and still to this day, I have titties. I don't know. Maybe I mean, plus I overeat a lot, so that's probably another reason. But some of us are just chemically inclined to have titties, you know? For those that are wanting to grow up trans and stuff like that, hey, my suggestion is that you eat tofu because that increases your estrogen levels, and one day you'll have that beautiful rack you've always wanted, you know? Unless you're the other trans that wants to get rid of them. But if you're the trans that wants to grow them, you know, naturally, as natural as you can, eat tofu. Also, I'm not a doctor. I can't provide medical advice or anything like that. So please do not listen to and do not take any advice from me. I have no tests I can give you and give you a scientific. Okay, I think I'm good with food now. I don't have any scientific data to provide it or anything like that. So you're on your own or with a medical professional. Please don't sue me. I started eating a bunch of tofu and I have no titties. But oh my god, I can't stop complaining. Another effect of estrogen levels. Ah. All right. Okay. So where were we? Oh, okay. God's mapping out the universe, and I think I need a sword. To have sword stuff, and I keep going out here for no reason. God's mapping out the universe, and he says, "Okay, so if I create a human, and I create a man and a woman, what are the results of that? You know, should I test them? You know, he might be having a little fun right there, right? Should I test them and put a tree with fruit? And what does this tree have? Okay, I'm gonna make actually tons of trees, all the fruits you can think of, all the different flavors that I can imagine. You know, actually, I'm only gonna give them 1% of all the flavors. And I'm gonna say something like, if you bite this one fruit, guess what? You will know death. You will die, right? And if you don't, you get to live forever and be prosperous, and maybe I'll unlock the remaining 99% of the tastes and fruits and all that. And so he puts that on the Visio chart and starts saying, okay, if I make this, then that happens. If they don't need it, I'll unlock the remaining 99% of the flavors. Now, if they do eat it, what does that look like, right? So he starts mapping out the decision point where Eve eats. Eve starts to eat the. Ooh, boom! Eve eats the fruit, which then leads to them realizing that they're naked, they're nude, right? So they experience shame. Oh, shame. One of the worst feelings. I've experienced my share of shame. No, I'm pretty much responsible for a good portion of my shame. And I think a lot of us are, right? However, some of us grow up a certain way, right? Like with disadvantages, we don't have what little Timmy has. We whatever. We don't grow up. We all grow up differently, right? And some of us have more advantages than the others, which is another um, consequence of sin, you know. You might be born to a rich parent, but that rich parent happens to have like a very crappy immune system, and they pass that crappy immune system to you, and now you have it. And although you have all the riches in the world, you don't have health. You know, I mean, think about it. Does one human have everything? Is that even a thing? Like we all have some sort of deficiency, right? And then we start to look different. Some of us are short, and some of us are tall, and some of us are funny, and some of us are serious, and some of us are fat and skinny, and some of us have big titties, and all of us are flat chested, but we all come out in different shapes and sizes and different colors and different we talk different languages. And I think there's a Bible story to support the language differences somewhere in there, the Tower of Babel. But maybe that's another episode for another day. By the way, this isn't a Christian podcast, although because I believe in God, I'm not I'm not subscribed to any religion, and I'll talk about how I grew up in a religious household in a future episode. But I'm still trying to get. Ah, damn it! Did I get poisoned now? Stop! See? Damn it, Eve! I'm gonna die. Oh my! Here it comes again. Okay, there you go. There you go. Oh, I'm gonna die. Oh my gosh, I need food again. Seriously, I just got to the level of food and health that I needed. Now I'm not. Yeah, this is life, If this episode tells you anything, is that life has a certain way of treating and handling. It's always going to throw wrenches at your way. There's another business jargon term, wrenches. There's a mechanic that decided to join the business world, And he's like, I remember when I was fixing cars, and Bob would always throw a wrench at me. He was trying to joke around. Well, he hit me in the head, and look at this this scar I have in my forehead. And so think of it that way, There's wrenches that get thrown in your way, and I don't even know if that's the origin of wrenches. But anyway, I think you guys still want to hear the story about the universe, right? So we go into all right. So we're focus, Benny. Focus. So I get distracted because I'm trying to kill food here, and I guess I could start farming, and get some healthier options here, but it's meat, baby. This is what we get. This is what we live for. We are carnivorous beings, and we need to get our amino acids from a fat, juicy, bloody steak. Okay, so I think I need to go back home because the sun started to set, and there's demons at night. So I'm gonna try really hard to finish this story. As you can tell, it's taking a lot of effort just to get through this dumb story. All right, so let me cook some chicken first. We got some raw beef. Okay, I still don't know what this armadillo skewed is for, but I'm gonna take a sip. This segment is brought to you by a crisp, cold sip of beep. I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about brands, and I'm not advertising anything. I don't have any advertisers, so I'm not selling anything, so don't buy anything that I say, please. Do your research and figure out if that's something that you want to purchase, but not on my behalf, okay? If I do start selling something, I'll make it super clear. Like this segment will be interrupted, right? I'll be talking about how the universe is on a Visio statement, and then boom, brought to you by Microsoft Visio. That would be a cool sponsor, by the way. I don't think they would sponsor me because this has gone really sideways. All right, so let's think about it, right? God just created a universe, okay, and he's mapping out. He hasn't created the universe yet, so he's mapping out the universe. He created a whole universe just to map out the Milky Way, and he's going through all the if and then statements. You know, what happens if I do this? What happens if I do that? Okay, we fast forward to Eve, and Steve. It's not Adam and Steve. It's anyway. So it's and so he's wondering, okay, so what's gonna happen if Eve bites his apple? Which in that statement, he already figured it out that there's no way Adam would bite the apple, which is also comically hilarious. I was like, nah, he wouldn't do that. But the way I created woman, gosh, man, and her curiosity, and I don't know why I decided to make them like the 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 brand of human that likes to argue and explore, and I'm gonna get a lot of angry responses from this. Anyway, so what I wonder what would happen if Adam was the one that bit the apple. How different the world would be. Like, would would, would there even be death? We would be living in like the best. Everyone has a mansion and stuff, you know. It's just funny, man. I don't even know why that's a thing. I feel bad. I'm sorry, ladies. You guys, you were you were gifted with the beautiful thing to be able to create life. You know, the ladies. And if one of the liberal people are listening, be like, man can make babies too. Yes, whatever rose your boat, whatever. I'm not here to debate your ideologies. I'm just talking about my ideologies. Okay, all right. So this isn't a debate platform, huh? Did you come here to debate, or did you come here to listen and watch me just walk around this dumb earth? I just saw a forest over there, and I was like, hey, that looks pretty cool. I could get a lot of use from that area. But okay. Do I have what did I need? I think I just needed tools, and I needed food. I think I have enough food. Okay. So God goes in. It's like, okay, so if Eve bites the apple, what's gonna happen, right? She bites it as he puts it on the Visio flowchart. And then he's like, okay, so now they know what death is, and now they know that they're naked. Okay, got it. And so then the whole Bible happens, and whether or not that's true, it's another story for another day. Not on my show, right? Because I'm only telling a story. I'm not actually proving or disproving anything. I'm only telling a story. Um, so the Bible goes through, and then the Bible ends, right? The story of the Bible ends, which I'm not even sure how it ends. I think it's like an Armageddon scene or something like that. And we go in, and so then the dinosaurs happen, and then cavemen happen, and I don't know what came first. Don't ask me. I'm not a scientist. And then we got a little cool little thing, right? Oh, we got a. All right, yeah, that's right. I think I have too much crap. Let me throw away some crap. Nope, I want that. I want that. I want that. Okay, I think I got everything I needed. And so, um, let's fast forward a little bit, and now we got like the colonizers colonizing America, and we got slavery, and then we got all these things are happening, right? Um, the iPhone gets created, and I don't know if iPhone or Minecraft came first, but I feel like they were around the same time. I think it was Minecraft that came first, and and then I discover Minecraft, and I start playing and I get hooked, and I start building all these worlds on the Xbox, and I'm like hooked on it. Fast forward, I have 4 kids. I still got the titties that I grew up with, and my beard is gray. And there's a moment in my life where I ran every day for a whole year, and all these things happen, right? And then I was like, I should make a podcast. Actually, I did try to make a podcast with my cousin and my bro, and it was called the Podstigators, and that was kind of cool. It was pretty dope. Anyway, again, I don't ask me about the timelines because they're all mixed around in there. And then we get to this point where I'm finally recording this podcast, and I'm just walking around because I'm just talking to myself. Really, is what I'm doing. Um, and then we get to that point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna record my first episode, and the first episode is recorded, and the audio's crap. Like, there's nothing good about it. Like, you can't even hear. I mean, if you turn it up, you still have to listen carefully. And I don't have the greatest hearing, so imagine me with crappy hearing trying to listen to this thing. I'm all disappointed. I'm getting shot at. Uh, and let me see if I can kill you bitches. You like that? Oh, no, I'm gonna die. Oh no, creeper! Damn it. And I mean, if you want to fast forward even more, that's what happens, guys. That's what happened. That's why we're living in the world we're living, because Eve decided to take a bite of that fruit, and all those scenarios were mapped out on the Visio flowchart, right? With a whole different, we'll call it the Visio universe, where God created all these scenarios of what would happen if Eve bit the apple. And it really sums up what we really sum up to is me blowing up and dying a couple of times now already in this new world. That's what happened. That's the result of Eve biting into the apple. Jeez, man. Did you have to bite into that apple, Eve? I mean, if Eve didn't bite into the apple, would we even know what death is, right? And like write music about it, write books about it, make video games about it, make movies about it, make training, and have a whole like industry called healthcare, right? Trillion, quadrillion dollar industry, all surrounding life and health. All those things wouldn't have existed today if Eve did not bite into that apple. It's kind of crazy, huh? It's kind of wild. And now I don't even want to play this stupid game. Now I'm sad. Like, I'm just gonna keep going down there and dying, keep thinking of Eve. Like, what the fuck, man? Alright. I mean, do you guys want to think about like a different scenario? Like, what would happen if it was Adam and Steve? Yeah? Uh, we got Adam and Steve, And Steve was like, should I buy into Apple? And Steve would be like, no, you know what was gonna happen? And did you didn't you talk to the future snake? The future snake said, hey, if you buy into this Apple, you're gonna get a a guy playing video games. I don't know how many years. I think the Bible technically says like this world's like 6 or 7 thousand years old. So let's go with that, okay? 6,000 years from now, Lord Bentos is gonna be playing Minecraft, and he's gonna be recording a podcast, and he's gonna be talking about the universe, and he's gonna go in and without any protection try and find resources for his little world, and he's gonna come across all these monsters and skeletons with bows and arrows, and he's gonna get shot up at, and he's gonna get blown up, and he's gonna suffer hunger, and he's gonna suffer pain, and he's gonna be telling all these stupid dumbass ideas about how the world works. Do you really want that? And Steve's gonna be like, he sounds hot. The way you described his titties, like, oh my god, I want that. And I don't know if using the Lord's name in vain was a thing back then, but that's where we ended up, guys. I mean, that's the result. You know, this is what we could have been living in. The greatest, most beautiful earth on earth, and we ended up with this bullshit. You listening to this, and I feel sorry for you guys. You know, this is how you decided to spend your time listening to this show. Um, yeah, I kind of lost my desire to explore the mines right now, because I keep dying over there, and there's a lot of monster spawns, or I forget what they call them. But that's man, I really hope this audio is working, because I spent all this energy and time talking about the universe, and if the audio isn't even playing right, like life is beautiful, isn't it? Isn't it? Okay, I think I want to build a lot of things here. This is where I just spawned though. I want to get myself a sword. Do I have any? Yeah, I have some iron. I'm gonna cook some iron. I'm gonna go exploring. I'm gonna see if maybe I can find a cave that has already been built by the creators of this game. And okay, I gotta organize some shit here. Let me see. I got too much crap already. Let's put the mine stuff here. And okay, we'll put that there. I'll put this here, and bum, ba, ba, ba. But anyway, I do want to find some good recording software, because I'm using OBS 10.2.3. You know what? It's a decent software, and I don't even know like the full capabilities of it. I was checking out on YouTube to see what other capabilities or what other apps I can use, programs I can use to record and my screen and all of that. And some of them look kind of cool, but it didn't feel like there was like one application that did it all, you know? I feel like I might have to end up, I might be in a place where I'm going to have to use multiple applications to get the desired result. And I really hope that's not the case. But, you know, if we were living in an Adam and Steve world, we would have the greatest podcasting recording software ever made, right? Just think of like the ultimate utopia. What does that ultimate utopia look like for you? What is like you're thinking like, oh man, like if we only had this and I didn't have to think about money or feeding myself or staying healthy or getting a good job, what would we do? Like, I would we just be flying around, riding lions and shit? I don't know. Like it feels like this sounds really. Okay, this is gonna sound really bad. Okay, but I'm gonna say it. But if we lived in a perfect world and we didn't suffer, and we didn't have challenges, and we didn't have obstacles to cross, hurdles, more business jargon in there. What would life look like? Are we just walking around reading everyone's mind? Or do we even have a need to read minds? Like probably sex wouldn't even be a thing, like we wouldn't be able to have sex, Seems like a simple pleasure, but holy crap, the way it takes over your mind, you know what I mean? It suddenly becomes like the most beautiful thing you could do. Sex. Okay, I don't think it's nighttime, but it looks dark out here. Um, what would we do in the perfect world? Like, what is the purpose of like and this is why it sounds bad or sad. We grow up suffering so much and experience so much and make so many bad decisions, and hopefully some of us learn from those decisions. Some of us don't learn and we end up dying, right? Maybe they go to that perfect world, who knows? But what does a world look like with no pain, no suffering, no needs, right? Everything's there, everything's provided for. What would we do as a perfect human? What would we do as a perfect human? Right? As imperfect humans, we wake up in the morning. Some of us work out. Some of us go and make our coffee. We go and take some. We smoke a cigarette or take some Zen or whatever. Right? We go to work. We provide for our family. Some of us become millionaires or billionaires and don't have to worry too much about doing hard labor, but we start creating things, or we start to here's that pretty part of the world that I want to check out, and we start to I mean, everything we do it to survive, and this is why, not to get all philosophical with you guys, this is why I'm playing survival mode right now, because if I had all the tools and all the blocks and then everything, it wouldn't be that fun. Maybe if I'm just designing things, maybe that's kind of cool. But what would we do? I still, in our minds, my mind anyway, is incapable of understanding what a perfect world is, what a perfect life is. My mind cannot capture perfection, which is supposedly what heaven is. I think that's heaven, like perfection. No suffering, no need, no nothing. But I'm thinking like what I think we all have our different definitions of heaven. But my definition of heaven isn't like, I'm thinking like, oh, if my definition of heaven would be, okay, let me do my definition of like my top 10 things that would make me feel like I'm at heaven. And this is considering that I don't live in heaven, have no idea what heaven looks like, right? This is just me considering what I've experienced today, right? So my definition of heaven, this is gonna be my top 10 list. Maybe should I write this down? Let me see. Let me get a word here. Word. Oops. That wasn't. I hope you can't see that. Things are popping out on my screen, but I don't think you can. No, I'm only recording a screen. Okay. So, Benny's top 10 heaven items. Okay. Starting at number 1. Best sex all the time with my girlfriend. Oh, in case she's listening to this, because if I start saying other things, she's gonna get jealous of my definition of heaven. Best sex of all time with my girlfriend. Let me go back. Every single time, whenever, wherever, at any moment. No exhaustion. Feels great every time you pump one out. So you have the best, and then subcategory A is like best orgasms, stuff like that. And then, by the way, this podcast isn't for kids, so if you're a kid, please stop listening. This is intended for mature audiences only. I should have made that statement at the beginning of the podcast, because now I wonder if I'm gonna get flagged. I still need to understand the rules, but this is for mature audiences only. If you are a kid, shut the shit down now. Okay. Ooh, I just heard the door slam. I think the food is here. All right. Number 2 is smoked meats unlimited. Imagine having smoked meats whenever you wanted, and it always came out perfect. Oh yeah, that would be my top 10 heaven item for sure. Let me go back. Oh, can I write on this? Let me see. How can I? Is there a text? Okay, so 1, best sex ever. 2, smoked meats unlimited. These aren't real commands, as you can see. 3, my number 3 would be damn, did I already stop at 2? Shit. Instant cold beer. Next is cigars galore. So that means I would have a house dedicated just to smoking cigars. Okay. There you go. Number 5. I would be able to run unlimited. So I can run any distance, any pace. I'd be the fastest runner in the world. Oh, that was number 5. Run unlimited. Okay. Number 6. Coming in at number 6. 6 would be being able to create the best music ever. I should probably put something in there about family and shit, huh? Family never needs anything, has everything they ever wanted or needed, and are healthy, and they're funny, and they never argue, and they're cool builders, maybe they build houses and shit. Okay. All right. Number 8. Coming in at number 8. The New York Jets win every game for life. All right. There you go. Coming in at number 9. Benny's top 10 heaven items. Oh, my Lord Bento's top 10 heaven items. Coming in at number 9 is Benny, or Lord Bento's, figures out podcasting. And it's like his show is the best show ever, with at least 50 subscribers. Because I heard that you need 50 subscribers to stream live. So, coming in at number 9, Lord Bentos figures out podcasting. The show is the best show ever with at least 50 subscribers. And the top 10 is um shoot, what's a good no one ever pays for health care ever. There you go. That's my definition of heaven. Um I don't know how realistic that is. And but again, this is with my mindset that I have of living on earth, right? Because I've never experienced heaven, right? Maybe those of us that have died have gone to heaven. Who knows, man? If there's a place where you really don't suffer, that's amazing, right? But then once you're there and you're perfect and everything's awesome, does that top 10 list apply? Like, does that go into effect? I don't know. I don't know. And I mean, no one ever dies in heaven. You live forever. So you get to be with your family, 24/7, which is pretty cool. Of course, yeah, that's really cool. We want to be with our loved ones. But is that it? Oh man. Oh, that sounds really jacked up, but that's it. That's the show. I reached an hour. All right. Thank you for listening. That's season 1, episode 2, which is really like 1.2 because I think episode 1 was so crappy. But if you like the show, tune in next week. I'll promote it on my X social feed at Bentasia. You can go into my YouTube channel at Bentasia, and I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Hopefully next time you get a little bit better audio quality and all that stuff. But it's just gonna take some time. So don't hold me to it because I ain't perfect, y'all. All right, I know you guys want perfection. All right, see you guys. Oh yeah, I need a tagline. We did it. That's it. That's the tagline. We did it. Thanks, guys. I'll see ya.